Using student voice to promote inclusive college faculty teaching, disability awareness videos. A project by Emily Tarkanish, Ashley Takanay, and Allison Lombardi from the University of Connecticut. Introduction. Approximately 19% of post-secondary students self-disclose disabilities, and it's likely this number underestimates the actual prevalence, as students with disabilities often choose not to self-disclose. Not only is this population growing, but these students do not achieve comparable academic outcomes to their peers without disabilities, including experiencing lower retention and graduation rates and higher rates of course failure. Students with disabilities identify one factor that contributes to their unsatisfactory academic experiences is post-secondary instructors being unfamiliar with or even possessing negative attitudes toward disability and accommodations. To prepare for this project, we examined the research on existing disability awareness and inclusive teaching trainings and found that while these trainings increase understanding of disability characteristics, laws, accommodations, and confidence to discuss disability, few of them actually included students with disabilities. The current project. The current project involves a disability awareness and inclusive teaching online video training that discusses ADHD, anxiety and depression, autism spectrum disorders, and traumatic brain injuries, including concussions. A fifth video describes principles of universal design of instruction and provides tools to implement these principles in classrooms. The primary component of each of the videos includes students with disabilities sharing their experiences with disability and learning in post-secondary education. They also described how instructors can make their classes most accessible. Methods, mixed methods analysis. To evaluate the effectiveness of the videos, the researchers asked post-secondary instructors to complete the disability-related self-efficacy scale before and after viewing the training. Participants were also asked to respond to 4 qualitative questions involving what features of the training they found most and least helpful and how participating in the training influenced their teaching. 100 post-secondary instructors completed the training and surveys, and 47 of those individuals also responded to the qualitative questionnaire. Results. Table 1 shows a trend level change in pre to post-test scores across the 4 factors. 4 regression models were conducted on the difference in pre-post scores. In the first regression model, the pre-post difference score of the factor knowledge of services was regressed on the predictors of graduate status, graduate assistant status, tenure status, and years teaching. The overall model was statistically significant, and the predictors of graduate assistant status, tenure status, and years teaching explained approximately 11% of the total variance. Graduate assistant status explains significant unique variance. The 3 other regression models were not statistically significant. Table 2 shows the results of the regression models. The qualitative analysis revealed that 34 out of 47, or 72% of respondents who completed the qualitative questionnaire indicated that hearing directly from students was the most influential part of the training. Participants noted that these accounts were the most memorable and helped them to understand why inclusive teaching was necessary. 13 out of 47, or 28% of participants noted that they appreciated the organization and platform of the training, including how the description of disabilities, student narratives, and teaching practices complemented each other. Participants also indicated that the summary charts and handouts at the end of each training made it easy to apply the information in the future, and also liked that the training was self-paced and virtual. 12 out of 47, or 25% of participants, stated that they appreciated learning about specific inclusive teaching practices, as well as about universal design of instruction. Instructors also described specific teaching practices they would begin or continue to implement as a result of participating in the training, and also provided feedback to improve future iterations of the training. Future directions. Future studies will examine other potential predictors and their relationships to the differences in pre-post scores, which will expand for whom the training may have the most robust effects. The researchers also plan to create videos on additional disabilities or for different settings and assess the effects of the training on educators in other post-secondary as well as secondary settings. Relevance to secondary transition. One of the largest takeaways from the study included that incorporating student narrative or voice into disability awareness and inclusive teaching trainings may be a promising approach to help educators understand the experiences of students with disabilities, as well as the need for inclusive teaching practices. Secondary transition educators may be able to use similar projects to train their colleagues about disability and inclusive teaching. This approach may also enable students with disabilities to share their lived experiences with disability and practice self advocacy, which may affect how they're able to participate in the IEP or other service meetings and allow them to share feedback on the services that they receive.